Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of Survivors Night. Tonight we have one of our team members, Paul, who's going to tell his truth. We may have some trigger points along the way. If you want to leave any questions for Paul to answer, please feel free to do so. Over to you, Paul.
All right. Yeah. Carl, just ask a couple of questions first and get me into it.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Paul, what age were you when the abuse first started, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, five. Yeah, so it started when I was 5. By my stepfather. Like, I had an operation on my foreskin, so obviously it had to be what's the word? Like played with back and forth and stuff like that. So obviously it didn't seize up again. So my mother didn't want to do it. So he took the reins of doing it. So after a couple of weeks, like that's when the sexual abuse come into play then. So like he was like masturbating, like he'd masturbate me, like he forced me to masturbate him. Then it a couple of weeks after, then it would get like down to oral, and yeah, but all that type of shit.
How long did this go on for, Paul? How long did the abuse last?
7, 8 years.
And did your family know about this? Did you confide in your mum or?
Yeah, no. Like the only time my mum knew was it was sports day in school. Like I found a bottle of cooking brandy in the kitchen what on the day, and I thought, on sports day you're never in the lessons. You're mainly outdoors all the time watching sports, like. So I take it with me. It looked like it was a nice day, so I put my coat in my bag, which I'd never really done. And then obviously I never used to take a bottle in the bag neither. So, but like got halfway to the bus, it was getting a bit nippy, started raining, so I took the coat out of the bag, and you know the old tin top on the old bottles, it had one of them on, so like obviously that hit the ground, the top burst. So I started drinking. It was about 7:30 in the morning. By the time I got on the bus, got to school, I finished the bottle off, put one foot on the step, I was absolutely mortared. My mother had a phone call then about 10 to 9 to come and pick me up. I slept for 3 days solid. When I woke up then, like everyone was around the house, like teachers, my mother. They asked me like, what the fuck, basically. And it all came out. So I was like 14, I think, by the time I let it all rip, like, you know.
And did your mum believe you, the teachers, when you told them?
Yeah, my mum, like, got me, like, also I got four brothers, so like my mum, myself, my 4 brothers, we all left. We moved to St Athan. So yeah, I think she believed it. I've always wanted to like speak to my mum, ask her questions and stuff, but she's never wanted to come face to face and listen to what I've got to say, and obviously not answer the questions, you know, and that's been the hardest.
Do you think
not
that
the hardest,
but
one
she may feel? Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
She may have felt she'd let you down.
Yeah, like like at the time, like I wanted to rip her face off, if I'm honest, because like obviously when you're young and you go, I felt alone, like, you know, so I wanted someone who's obviously I was going through it on my Todd, so yeah, but obviously the older I got then, like, yeah, basically it could be where it's like she's feeling guilt, or or whatever like that. Like, you know,
Yeah, she
it's
probably
just,
thought she's brought this man into your life, well, his beast
yeah,
into your life, and this is what he's done to her son.
yeah. Like obviously, just before he went to court, like I moved back down to West Wales with my nan, and then like obviously my nan started telling me stuff about him, because like my mum got with him when I was 2, but he was the family vicar at the time. He had obviously he had his own family down in West Wales when he got with my mum, so he left them there and moved to Cardiff. Well, Roos, not Cardiff, but I class as Cardiff. But it's like, so when the day that they were leaving, my nan and my pop kicked off. My pop smashed his car up because they just wanted like to adopt me basically. Because like what my pop said was, because of him being the family vicar, he's known my mum since she was a kid, so he thought he was strange from the off. And then obviously when it came out about myself, like my pop was absolutely fuming, do you know what I mean? Because one, he thought he didn't do enough, and secondly, everything that he thought on that day that we was getting in that car came true basically, like, you know.
Do you know if he abused his other children for? You know, if anything had happened?
Like when the police was looking into everything, like obviously they contacted his family. That he's got three lads, like with his previous. He was able to contact 2 of them because they're both still down in West Wales. But there's one, Stephen. They even the cops couldn't even find him. Which obviously the head OB turned around to me and said, like, there's a reason why he's not being found, and it's because he doesn't want to be found, like.
And he never abused any of
your
brothers that you had, that you know of?
Yeah, not like my brothers were young. But yeah, not that I know of. Like obviously, if it came out like in some ways I didn't protect myself, but obviously I would have protected them with all my fucking might, like, you know.
Of course. So obviously you reported this. This was reported to the police.
Yeah, we went to court. I think it was 7, 8 days. I think it lasted in court. He ended up walking, which like the head OB got me into like a psychiatrist, and don't get me wrong, like I went for a couple of weeks, couple of months, I think, something like that. It didn't do me any good because like she basically wanted my mum, because she realised that like my issues was with my mum as well as him. So she wanted my mum to come with me, but she blanked it. So that all stopped. But the OB, like after 2 weeks of court ending, like what's the word? Like it gave up the police force, like, you know, he quit.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like 6 months, 8 months down the line, I had eight grand payout, which that's when like the head work started big time then, like, do you know what I mean? Because like obviously, even though I was just under 17, I think it was a couple of months before my 17th birthday. Like I was thinking, well, hang on a minute, you've let him walk, so you're basically saying that he didn't do it. Then the OB fucking decides that he wants to quit the fucking police force, and now I've got 8 grand sitting in my bank because of fucking the trauma that I'm going through from someone that hasn't done fuck all. So
she'll never compensate anything anyway, was it?
No, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, fucking, I'm still messed up from it today, like, you know. But but it was, I don't know. I just don't understand how he walked and I had that money, like, you know.
Yeah, it's a hard one to think about, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Like,
Somebody's just asked, do you think your mum knew before you told her?
Yeah. So, back in the day, like I did. I put my life on it that she knew. I think that, like, me and my mum used to be really close, proper close. Like, everyone would say, like, we were more like brother and sister than mother and son, like, you know. Obviously, when it all came out, obviously that was when I started realising what was happening. Like, sex was never mentioned. Like, I'd go to comp and, like, all the boys would be talking about, like, tit wank, like, fucking blowjobs, fucking everything, and I'd be like, what the fuck, like, do you mean? I didn't understand anything that they were talking about. But then, like, obviously when they started going into details, it was making me realise then, like, especially the oral side of it, what I was actually doing in the house, like, you know.
Well, yeah, being a child, you don't know
No.
what it is. Somebody else has just sent in, how long did it take to realise the abuse you were suffering was wrong? How old were you when you you've probably just answered that question, really.
Yeah, I think I have, like, but, like, obviously, mentally, I suppose you sort of know. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, I started rebelling against, like, the household, like, my family, from quite a young age. So, yeah, it's hard. Do you know what I mean? So, like I said, mentally, I most already did know. But then it was, like, obviously when you get older, then, and, like, people start talking around you, you start putting pieces together, and you start working things out for yourself, like, you know.
Did you seek any professional help or counselling?
Yeah, the psychiatrist. Like I said, it was only for a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Like, she basically she'd ask me quick questions. I'd have to draw stuff, and I'd like draw the house, draw the car. So at the time, like, he had a red Volvo, K. I can't remember the numbers now off the top of my head, but it was K. The numbers and then any at the end of the number plate. Like, I remember so much, and then I blocked so much out as well. Like, you know, it's.
Yeah. How did it affect you growing up? Did you turn to drink or?
Yeah, like, I do drink, do drugs, and anything really, just that just took my mind off it. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just a locker out, isn't it? It's just
yeah, no, like, it's all fucked up, like, you know. It's hard. When you're on your own, like, you you can talk to yourself, and, like, you know exactly what you're saying and everything like that. But then you come on to something like this, and it's crazy, like, you know. It's the mind plays tricks on you, like.
Yeah, definitely. And what about relationships? How has that affected your relationship you're in now?
Yeah,
relationships in the past.
Like that, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't trust anyone. It's I've been through a few relationships, do you know what I mean? But it's like it gets to a stage normally, and then, like, I either think it's getting a bit too on top, or something like that, and I just do a runner, like, you know. It's
And you think that's because you not saying your mum never showed you love growing up, because you said you were very, very close, but because you've had to deal with this abuse on your own, you didn't have anyone to turn to.
Yeah,
That's what I've triggered.
yeah, like I'm used to be pushing myself through everything on my own, like. So it's like once I feel like I'm getting attached too much, or someone else is getting attached too much, it's like I don't want to go
to run.
So I it's like basically I just don't want to like hurt someone, like, or be hurt myself, you know.
That's very hard, isn't it? For you, if you're with a partner who's never gone through what you've gone through, to try and explain to them.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to feel that you're pressuring them by asking, them to sit and listen to what you've gone through. It is.
Yeah.
Like, it is very hard.
Like everyone I got with, like, I told them, like, obviously I've been abused and stuff like that. But I've never gone into details with them, like, you know. But it's like the thing that I'll always remember is when I did go to the psychiatrist. I think it was the second or the third time I was there. She said to me, because you've been abused, we've got to monitor you, because there is a guarantee that you will do abuse as well, like. And that's
See,
all.
I don't believe in that. I don't, when they play this card, like with the learning disabilities cards, I don't believe abuse victims go on to abuse.
Yeah, but it's like,
we know being abused, it was something that would ever cross my mind for me to think, I've got to go out and do what was done to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, it's never crossed my fucking head, but it's like, because she said it's stuck from that day. It stuck with me, like, and it's scared the shit out of me, basically, because at the end of the day, that's the last thing I'd ever want to fucking do, like, is I know the hurt that it fucking does, and there's no way I'd do put that onto someone else, like.
Okay, somebody's just asked, would you be willing to get counselling now to help with the abuse? And as you said, you turn to drink. Would you seek help now, or do you think you've managed it on it?
To be honest, I don't. I think that the help that they put out there is no fucking good. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like the only help that you could have out there is from ourselves, getting together, and
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, it's us that's gone through it. We know, even though every abuse is different, the outcome is exactly the same. It doesn't matter if it's mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. Do you know what I mean? It's still got the same.
It's got the same outcome. Then no one's going to be able to help you. So.
So, like, do you know what I mean? And I think it's down to us all in helping each other, because, like I said, the help out there it's not help. It's just what they like to call it help, because they like to feel like they're doing something and put something in place for it.
Okay, somebody else have just asked, have you got anything that triggers you in your normal day-to-day life from the abuse? Would set it off, basically to remind you of what's happened.
Yeah. There's like the smell of new carpet, because like from the age of 5, I would started on the weekends laying carpets with him at the age of 5. Then it got to a stage, and I think I was about 7 or 8. He'd pull me out of school if he was really busy. So like all my young life, like I'd basically worked. And like he, to be fair to him, like he'd pay me 25 quid, but like obviously when I got older I realised then that was just hush money, like, but then there was like rules to it as well. So like I had if I wanted like a console or something like that, I'd have to buy it myself, like, so even though it was all like hush bullshit, it was, he was setting me up for life as well. Like, do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like,
yeah, it's the little control thing, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like a little blackmailing thing.
yeah,
You know, where I was abused and my sperm donor was, you're my princess. Here's your couple of pounds. And years and years ago, obviously being a lot older than you, there's a lot of money then. So I think that's their way.
yeah.
They know you're not going to go with that money. You get independent on that money when you want something. So this is their controlling part.
No, it's absolutely. Do you know what I mean? It's all about control with them. Like from the abuse to the mental side of it, it's all control. Like, you know, and but that control sticks with you for the rest of your life. Like,
Definitely. Somebody's just asked now. Sorry for all these questions.
yeah, that's right. Crack on with the questions.
Do you see yourself in 10 years moving forward with your relationship and trust issues?
Well, yeah, well, hopefully, like, I'm getting better over the time, like, but it's like, I gotta work on myself, and like, obviously listening to other people as well is a major factor for me, because like I said, like when I was growing up, like I thought it was only me. Then over the last 10 years, I started realising it's not, like, I mean, it's a major thing out there. And so yeah, so like I was saying, it's keeping that back thing of like knowing who you are, what triggers you off, what upsets you, and like trying to like stop it in a way, like, I suppose. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's the focusing part, isn't it? It's the more positivity part of
turning a negative into a positive.
Going forward, yeah, than being the negative part of it, yeah. You've had somebody asking, is this why you stepped up to the mark and started Alpha and ACCA to support other people?
Yeah, like, obviously, I started up Alpha. One of the teams contacted myself to do security for them, because they was in Wales at the time. So I got hold of a couple of the lads. We done the security. We all went away, and then I think it was like, well, a couple of days, a week after, and I thought, you know what, this is something that I've got to do for myself as well as other people. Like, you know, is try and prevent it as much as possible.
How big of an epidemic do you think paedophilia is within the country?
How big?
Yeah. Epidemic. Where do you start?
I think it's easier to say how small it is, you know. I think it's massive. It's huge, and I think we're only touching the fucking iceberg of it, like.
It's like a small stone in a big ocean at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's I think we're gonna find out, and I've even though we've all been having shocks, of late, and everything like that, it's nothing to what is gonna come knocking. I think, personally.
Do you think this has made you a stronger person, Paul?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I have my strong days, and then I have my days where I feel weak. I feel like giving up. Like, what was it, about three months ago, I come out of the longest bad spell I've ever had, and that lasted 8 months. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how it started, and to be honest, I don't even know how I got myself out of it. But like, all I can remember while I was in it, I was it was like I was counting down the months, and I was saying, "Fucking hell, pull yourself together." Like, it's never gone on this long without you pulling yourself out of it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Have you ever contemplated suicide or
Yeah,
thought of taking?
yeah, loads of times, absolutely loads of times. Um, but it's, I think that's why I like to keep myself busy as well. Because like I find the busier I am, I'm not thinking about anything apart from what needs to be thought about. Like, you know, it's them days like when you're on your own, you're doing nothing, just lying in bed or just sitting there. That's when everything starts running through your head, and then the negative side starts beating the positive side up, and
and even then, see, they still got control of it.
Yeah.
It is just one massive control thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't think we're ever gonna fight it, but I don't think we're ever gonna win 100% because there's always that bit of control at the back of our heads, as you said, when you're on your own and you have your bad days.
Yeah, it's knowing it, like it's yourself, how your mind works and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? So if you can work that side of it out, then you're halfway there, turning a negative into a positive. Do you know what I mean? But if you can't get yourself to that point, then yeah, like it's a very dark fucking and a long fucking road, like, you know.
Long tunnel, the light. Do you think that Survivors Night is going to help in respect in helping others to come forward to tell their truth?
I'm hoping so. And this is the reason why we started it. Do you know what I mean? Is like, obviously I can only go by how I feel. So growing up, feeling like I was the only one, feeling very lonely, couldn't speak to anyone, is it's putting something out there, so it helps speak massively. Do you know what I mean? And like, the more you speak, the better it becomes. I think. But then obviously for the ones that are in that stage where they feel like they can't speak, it's good for them to listen. So then hopefully after so many stories that they hear, they can resemble to so many, and then hopefully
find courage themselves.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know, which I'll be gutted about, but I'm hoping that it works, like, you know.
No, it's been so far so good.
Yeah,
so,
no, absolutely.
There's been a few people willing to come on and tell their side. How have you overcome the depression that comes with abuse?
Like I said, just basically just keeping myself busy. Like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You know, is the negative side of it knows how to win, and it battles proper and to win.
It's like demons, isn't it? You've got to outweigh the good one with the bad.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like loads of people say you're taking on too much. You're doing this, you're doing that. Like, you know, and I sit there sometimes and I think, you know what, you're absolutely right. Like, I shouldn't be doing like as much as I am doing. But if I wasn't, then I know the demons would beat the shit out of me. Like, you know.
Yeah, and then where would you be? You'd be back at rock bottom.
Yeah.
It's just like a big vicious circle, isn't it? Really is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Nobody there will be light at the end of the tunnel, and there is light at the end of the tunnel. But as you said, we're going to get those dark days. And as I've said to you and the others in the past, life does go forward. It's not a tape recorder where we can rewind. We've got to move forward. We've got to push ourselves to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? It's like anything in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
you've got a main focus that you focus on, and you can do it.
Yeah,
you can do it.
You can't step backwards. You can only go forward. Do you know what I mean? But then
and it's small steps. Little steps are better than no steps.
Yeah, and do you know what I mean? But like some people say, forget about your past. But me personally, I use my past as my strength, like, you know.
Yeah, to make you the stronger person you are.
Yeah.
Do you have children, Paul?
Yeah, I got. Just like a fact, I got two sons, which are mine.
Do they know what's going on? Do they know?
Not that I know of. I think their mum might have told them. Their sisters, which were 3 when I got with their mum, like they know I was abused. But like obviously they're like 20, 22, 23. They're twins. Like when it comes to the kids, it's hard, you know, like because like I said, like with a psychiatrist saying them words to me, like so like when they were babies, like I'm looking at them thinking I shouldn't be here, like, you know, like I'm a danger to you, like but it was because my mind was focused on them words that she said to me. So yeah, like I'm not the greatest fucking father, and some people say I'm the shittest father, like, you know. But to me, like it's
there's no book in being a brilliant parent.
No, but like
nobody, we're not handed these books.
Yeah.
To be a great parent, it's just one of those things. Unfortunately, do you have contact with your children? Or?
Yeah, like not as much as I should do. Like, so obviously they're down West Wales, so like it's hard. But it's like I say, I think.
But they know you're there if they need you.
Yeah, like absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like I've told them plenty of times. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm only at the end of the phone, at the end of Facebook, whatever. Like, you know, you contact me any time if you need me, like, you know. But it's like I just when it comes to the kids, I just want to protect them, like, you know. And if it means keeping my distance as well, then that's what to me that's what it's got to be as well. Like,
be the other end of the world, couldn't they? The other side of the world, you're still going to protect them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
How has it affected the relationship you're in now, Paul? Is it? Obviously, we know Kerry, and she's a great girl.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like Kerry's awesome. Do you know what I mean? Like to be fair to her, she most probably takes a lot more fucking shit than she would have to. But it works for us too, like, you know.
Yeah, hard work. I love you.
Kyle, have you got any questions your end?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Paul, I just want to say, you know, I've got so much respect for you. It's a very powerful testimony that you just said, mate. It's humbling to listen to how you deal with it. It's you know, you're doing such a fantastic job, and you're helping other people whilst helping yourself as well. The question that I've got a couple of questions really, but my question I would like to ask you is, how do you think you would react, or what would your reaction if you used to come across your abuser now? What would you actually say to him?
To be honest, I haven't got a clue. Like growing up, like I had so much I had in my head that I'd want to say to him, that I'd physically do to him. But going back about, I don't know, 10, 12 years, I was doing a boot sale down in Carew Market with one of my best mates, and I looked up, and he started walking up the aisle. So everything that I've told myself that I'd say and I'd do, just it went to shit, basically. Do you know what I mean? Like, the van door was open. I pushed myself as far into that door that I possibly could. He as he came up, he stopped at our table, started looking at all the goods. He looked up, looked me in my eye, and I was still just frozen, basically. When he walked away, then, like, when my mate like turned around to me and said, "What the fuck was all that about?" He said, I've never seen you be like that at all around anyone, like, you know. So obviously, as soon as I said to him that it was Colin, he went, "I thought it was." He said, because he said it's just the way you was, like, you know. he said he still got hold of you. And I said, he said it. So I was like, he must have, like I never thought he did until that day, like, you know.
Yeah, obviously that would have been my next question there. You know, obviously, I know a couple of guys and who have suffered abuse very similar to yourself, and I've seen instances where they've actually come across the person that's abused them, and it's as if the person has got an automatic hold over them, and they sort of revert back to that time where they were vulnerable and there was nothing they could do, and it was quite shocking to see that. I was just wondering whether, obviously, and you just answered that question, but that tends to be like a bit of a pattern that they not only control you at the time, that the control continues throughout your life. So it's quite a shocking thing to be aware of that, you know.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, like, I thought that if I ever come across him, like, being older and stuff, like, I'd put him 6 foot under, you know. I never thought that I'd actually put myself into a corner and cower, like, you know.
Yeah, and it sort of overpowers you at the moment, and it's a difficult thing you must be to deal with, to try and sort of like get your head around that as well, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's an afterthoughts that are going on there as well, isn't it? Because you're going to question yourself, and again the abuse tends to continue then, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. No, absolutely.
So,
I mean, like even that day haunts me to this day, like, you know, because, like, obviously there's a lot for myself. There's a lot of questions over that day, like, because going from I'm going to say this, I'm going to do that, to cowering is a massive difference, you know.
Yeah. It's difficult. Obviously, I haven't suffered any type of sexual abuse. I have been abused physically, terribly, like, but I can't comprehend, obviously, what you've gone through. It's just for me, it's quite shocking that someone can still have that type of effect. You know, obviously the people who abuse me, because we've been physical abuse, they could never do that to me now.
Yeah.
And then there came a time in life where that stopped, and I show more empathy towards them because of who they are as people, as opposed to anger and aggression.
Yeah.
And I deal with my abuse that way, but
no.
And obviously I can't comprehend what you've gone through, you know. But,
yeah, like, and I said, like, growing up, like, I used to control it by violence, like, you know, but obviously when it came to him, like, there was just no violence, like, and that's why my mate was shocked the way I acted, you know, because, like, he said he's never ever seen you be like that.
Yeah. Obviously, there's you should try and look forward to try and be able to deal with this. I mean, can you deal with it? Is it something you can deal with? Is it something you can prepare for even, you know?
That's it. It's like, I don't know, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, it's
But
really hard.
You've got to try and think about, you've got to try and think about people who have to face their abusers every single day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, like post abuse and growing up through life. I mean, thinking about what they must be going through, and what they have to go through on a daily basis, it's really difficult to even get your head around that.
Oh, that definitely that's where, like, because obviously, like, we all have got PTSD from it, so like if you're still in that environment, going through the PTSD of it, but still living it, it's I don't know, it's got to be heartbreaking. Do you know what I mean?
Can I just go back? Obviously, something else that really shocked me really as well. Which obviously I've never heard this testimony before from you, but I know it's your first time speaking about it sort of openly this way. But what I can't get my head around as well, and obviously I'd like your thoughts on how did it affect you when obviously the court proceedings were underway? Your abuser gets found not guilty or walks or whatever the case ceases for whatever reason. How did you feel then? Really, by giving you a compensation, it's basically telling you that we acknowledge that something did happen, but the person has got away scot-free. How did that affect you, Paul?
Really bad, to be honest. Like, it took me years and to like get over it. Like, I wanted to, like, either kill someone or someone kill me. Like, So like.
Did you feel this? Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. So, like, I basically went into what's the word? Like, self-destruct, and I'd get myself into fights, like, knowing that I shouldn't be coming out of it, like,
Yeah.
But
and obviously.
Yeah, go on.
So presumably it was, at the time, obviously it's a smack in the face by the establishment to even do that to someone. Did you feel then that you sort of rebelled against the system, against the establishment in that way as well? Because
absolutely. Like,
for me,
yeah. So, like, and this is the big part of, like, Team Alpha and Aka. Do you know what I mean? It's like, especially Aka, because obviously Aka's there, like, to bring everyone together. It doesn't matter who you are, fucking what your culture is, what your religion is. At the end of the day, we've all got to stand united.
Yeah.
Because there's only one enemy, do you know what I mean? And that's the government. The government, people saying, yeah, but it's the social services of controlling this side of it. Fucking this person's controlling that side of it. Blah blah blah. But that they're all controlled by the government. They can't move unless the government tells them to fucking move. And this is what people's got to start understanding.
Yeah, so they're all going under the directive of central government that way, even local governments and stuff like that as well. Do you know what I mean? So basically, do you feel that that's where, say, ACCA needs to concentrate its efforts to sort of not attack, but like take the awareness to central government and let them know that we know what that they're sort of being complicit in the abuse of children, and basically they're not doing their job, are they? In as much as the protection of their people, isn't it really?
Yeah, like then the day, there's, like, as we're all finding out more and more, like, is they got paedophiles fucking amongst themselves, like, so they're basically throwing down the line what they would be happy to do themselves. So like a paedophile say do 12 months, that's because if they get caught, they're quite happy to do 12 months, because you're not going to actually do that 12 months. You're going to do 6 months, maybe 4, if you fucking sucking the right dick in fucking prison. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
So,
Yeah,
but like,
so basically,
yeah, go on. Sorry, bro.
no, I'm just saying, basically because of the mindset of the people that are running the country, there's no directives coming down to get this situation sorted out.
No.
I mean, obviously, from my viewpoint, it's there must be the sentences must be like much higher to even
Absolutely.
consider it to be a deterrent in any way, shape, or form.
Like, like at the end of the day, like the victims, which obviously turn into survivors, have got a lifetime fucking of it. Like, they live it every day for the rest of their lives, and then for these assholes to go and have a holiday, get everything fucking paid for them, and then come out on the street like nothing's ever happened. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, makes you wonder if there are any survivors that are actually in government, in any positions of power, or do they make sure that it's the perpetrators? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I suppose if there were survivors, maybe the outlook and the way that the directives to deal with the problem would be different, wouldn't they? Really, so we just got to. I think we just got to. We've got to ask some serious questions about the people who are running the country, really, and allowing it to happen. It all comes from the top, doesn't it?
Of course it does. Do you know what I mean? But at the moment, they're happy to like to watch us all fight each other. If it's a fight for race, fight for I live here, you live there. That's their control on us. Because as we're fighting each other, we're leaving them alone, so that they're sitting in their big fucking fancy houses that we fucking paid for. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're thinking happy days. Crack on, kill yourselves. As long as you're leaving us alone, we don't give a shit. And that's
and of course,
that's where we've got to change our mindsets. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. And obviously, my next thing would be, obviously, we're both quite heavily involved in the ACAT group and stuff like that, and obviously we team up for it as well. And how do you feel? Because I know how I feel, but how do you feel, Paul, when we get people coming on to posts and people coming on and basically trying to cause division and trying to create problems, and a lot of people you can actually tell that they're sort of there to cause disruption and actually stop us getting this awareness out there. How do you feel towards those people?
To be fair, it winds the shit out of me. Do you know what I mean? For the simple fact of is, like, brainwashing has been around for years. So, and like they say, like TV is for entertainment. TV's not there for entertainment. It's there for, so when they put it into place in real life, your mind thinks that it's normal, it's natural, because your memory picks up that you've already seen it somewhere. So when you got someone jumping on the bandwagon, giving it, trying to like divide you, then it's like that they're working for them, basically. Do you know what I mean? Because like you're allowing them to rule you, you know.
Yeah, I get that. So, I know it's very frustrating for me as well. You look at people coming on and blaming certain sections of society for doing the same thing as what every section of society is doing. And yet, they support, they pay their licence fees like a good every single year to one of the biggest paedophile run organisations, corporations, in the world.
Yeah.
And and yet they'll come on and try and make comments and derogative comments and abusive comments. And I find it quite frustrating that people can't sort of like see, you know, how they've been basically moulded to do that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very frustrating.
And that's the best word for it, is moulded. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's that there's only a few of us that are actually awake to what is actually going on. Like some people are awake to certain things, but then there's only like a handful of people that is actually awake for everything. Then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's always a bigger picture, isn't there? But that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's always a bigger picture.
Of course there is. Like at the end of the day, that's I think with my abuse and all, it's made me look outside the box and not inside it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And
well, obviously your treatment as well. Your treatment by people you expected to protect you and even make sure you had justice and stuff like that. You must have felt let down in a way. And then to have someone who's supposed to be helping your mind let you walk away, presuming that you could possibly become an abuser. It's just shocking, isn't it, really? It's absolutely shocking. Then you have to self-medicate.
yeah,
And you have to be around people that have gone through the same scenario, you know, same situation as yourself, to be able to get that healing process even kicked off. Whether it ever, obviously, it'll never fully be there.
No.
There's all, you know, we're all going to carry the scars of abuse.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Personally, I think the beauty of ACCA now, I think the beauty of starting ACCA now is that we can all come together, and there's people that I see going into the comments section and stuff like that who are actually sort of like being able to speak in the comments and sort of like exercise the demons they've been carrying as well. And I think that's a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
Really. So all power to you, fella, for that.
Well, no, it's at the end of the day, it's me, you, Phil, the twins. Do you know what I mean? The twins got, even though
I think with
they're
a
not.
lot of people these days, they're afraid of their freedom of speech.
Yeah.
They're afraid to
Absolutely.
think that they can speak out, and they can. They're entitled to have their say.
Absolutely.
Well, to be fair, it's not so much. It's not so much what you say; it's the way in which you say it. So if you say certain things in certain ways, you can freedom of speech can be well worked. It all depends how you deliver the speech, I suppose.
Yeah.
Because there's people out there just waiting to pick up on any type of anomaly within what you're saying to call it whatever it is, you know, to try and stop freedom of speech. So I think the art of it is to be able to deliver what you're saying in the correct way. That's why I try to do it anyway. So,
That's right. It's the way it's interpreted, isn't it? It's the way,
of course,
the way it comes across as to what the way people are taking it.
Yeah. Well, and obviously there's people out there that it doesn't matter what you say, they're geared,
Oh, of course,
motivated, an agenda to take it a certain way anyway, or force it down that way. So, but I think it's a difficult road ahead, like, but I do believe, obviously, you know, with what we're doing, I do believe like we're opening doors, you know, we're allowing people to see what's going on, and I think for us the next stage really should be to start to see how we can maybe try and force some sort of change in some way. Even if we can stop one person being abused, we've achieved great things, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's like I personally don't think we'll ever stop it, but I personally think if we all stand together,
Recognised. These
like,
people need to know.
yeah, like don't get me wrong, like I know there's people out there that can't have children, do you know what I mean? But it's like 90% of the country have got kids, and it doesn't matter if you've been abused, not abused, or you don't know anyone that's been abused, or you know someone that's been abused. We've all got to stand together for our kids, and that's the only time that prevent.
For everybody's
It's because we're the voices of the kids. These kids can't speak up, or are afraid to speak up. So, you know,
but they haven't,
we're the voices for them.
Yeah.
The children haven't got the same platform as us have. The children can't do that.
No. It's the parents. Do you know what I mean? Like it's about prevention, you know, and but it's gonna take it's got we've all got to come together to be able to prevent it. Like there was a video going around on Facebook today. There was one the other day of like parents taking their kids to watch like a strip shows. You know, what the fuck's all that about? Like when I was a kid, like even if my mother thought there was a cleavage going to come on fucking TV, she'd put her hands over my eyes. But
Of course, yeah.
so I mean, like, but now
The babies, they shouldn't be subjected to stuff like that. It's shocking.
Well, it makes a mockery of the watershed, doesn't it? Really,
It does, yeah.
because that's sort of put in place to shield younger minds from what are adult subjects, you know. So, but it just seems as if there's a section of society now, and again they're in positions of power, and what they're trying to do is, obviously we all know this now, is they're trying to normalise it. So the road could be bleak if we don't stand up, if we don't come together. The road is definitely bleak because it's going to be normalised, and paedophilia is going to be sort of, they're going to attempt to have it accepted into society, and as bad as that sounds, I can see that being the agenda.
Yeah.
You know,
And this is what I said earlier, you know, with my grandchildren, you know, their kids when they're older, this is just going to be the norm to them.
Yeah, it's great. Well, we've got to kick that back, haven't we? We've got to push back on that every day. But obviously, like you said, Paul, everyone's got to come together with this.
Yeah.
It can't just be a handful of us.
No.
It's got, you know, people have got to be telling people around dinner tables and any social gatherings. People have got to start talking about it.
Absolutely.
Questions have got to be asked.
I mean, people over the years, people's forgot that Parliament is our building. Now,
Yes.
we're able to take that building back at any time, but we can't turn up with a fucking 100 fucking people and start kicking them out. The whole country has got to be there at the same time, the same fucking day, and all fucking walk forward.
Yeah. Well, from my viewpoint, is from a democratic point of view, then we should have the people we can trust. The people who are going to make the change elected into the positions of power, as opposed to having people. I mean, it's got to be. You know, how do you feel if you know that you've elected and you put your cross next to the name of a guy who's an active paedophile, and he's actually telling you how to live your life?
Like me personally, like I've never voted, and I never will. For the simple fact is that they're all the fucking same. Do you mean that?
Yeah, they're all liars.
That it's
Correct.
they're not the ones that's running the show. They're the ones that's putting their heads.
They're the puppets.
Yeah. They've got to put their head. We've got to have someone to blame, and they're the ones that get the blame. But there's someone higher, like the Soros, whatever, that's actually telling them this is how you are going to run the country this year. Like,
I get that. That's the bigger picture, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
There's always someone behind the someone.
Absolutely. Do you mean like it's like work, isn't it? Do you mean like when you go to work, you've got your manager. So if you've got a problem, you start screaming at your manager. But that manager is not the one that's even though they're telling you the rules, there's someone telling them what to tell you. You know, and the Parliament's exactly the same.
So it's the superior.
So then I suppose the ultimate thing is the ultimate battle is the good against evil, isn't it? That's where it goes to be fair. So I think that's where the battle's going to sort of come to the surface, personally.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening. I think that's it. We've got an evil section of the population of the world is just they're actually running the show at the minute.
It all comes down to money, innit? Do you mean? At the end of the day, the more people that go through mental health, then the more drugs that they take in. The more drugs they take in, the more money is getting spent on them drugs. You know, it's like this coronavirus. It's only turning into a massive fucking thing because one, they want the NHS to disappear so that they're going to make out that this coronavirus has killed the NHS money wise, but it hasn't. It's going to turn the NHS in triple, quadruple of the money, because there's more there's more pills and more injections getting bought, which creates more money. Like,
yeah. So this is why it's corrupt. Where the corruption comes in, isn't it?
yeah.
It's corrupt all the way to the top. So, yeah, nice. So, what time we got?
Okay, I got another question, if that's okay, Paul.
Yeah.
Do you find it easier to talk about your abuse since Team Alpha was born?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, everyone in the team is like basically been handpicked, and everyone is absolutely amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, support wise, for what they do behind the scenes. Like you've obviously got the two decoys that, in fact, like, do you know what I mean, they're on their phones 24/7, and it's like just watching what they do is unbelievable, and especially when you start reading the logs and stuff like that, you know,
Shocking.
yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so it has, and you've all helped massively, more than I could even say. Like, do you know what I mean? Thank you very much. Like, you know.
Not to thank us, that's what we're all here for. Do you think that there should be a process that we could put into place to safeguard all the children, including in care homes?
Sorry, can't say that again.
Do you think there should be a process that we could put in place to safeguard all children, including the care homes? That's a subject we've spoken about quite often, isn't it?
Yeah, like there's bound to be things out there that we can put in place. What I personally couldn't tell you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but it's the problem is a lot, especially the homes. Like, a lot of the homes now have gone privately, which they used to be run by the council, but the council's obviously put them as private for the simple fact of they don't want the legal bullshit of the side of it when someone's been abused or anything like that, like, you know. So it's like passing the buck then. But then the problem for, like, people like ourselves, it's a long process when you've got to attack a private company. So I think maybe, even though it won't solve it, go back to the council, because it's easier to, like, attack the council then. Do you know what I mean? I get it's a good question, that is, and it's hard to answer as a normal person, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So there was something that I was thinking about, and I don't know whether there's anybody in place or whether there is a body in place that. But I was thinking, you know, if you had maybe sort of like an organisation or a body of people very similar to Ofsted or something like that, that could be like a governing body over care homes, whereby they could just sort of move into a care home or a little to no notice, and sort of lock it down, interview the children, look at the facilities, see if it's being run right, see if the children are being cared correctly, and put the children into a safe environment so they can express any fears, and actually, if there is any fears coming or any accusations of any type of abuse coming from the children, that they're actually believed and it's acted upon. Do you think that I don't know whether there is someone out there that does that, or do you think that
Yeah,
could
like,
sort
but
of
like,
help?
but yeah, but like, even though they like privately run, they they're still council. So so the council will even tell you once they're in care, that child is their property. So like,
Yeah.
so I know what you're saying, but shouldn't the council have someone like that that's running
Well,
the show on that side?
Well, this is what I was thinking. I don't know whether there is somebody, or there is like a body in place that does that,
Yeah.
like like an ombudsman type, Ofsted type
Yeah.
person that oversees care homes. But personally, I would like to see like care homes be in a position that they know at any point that they could be looked over with a microscope, basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if
I
there
know.
was
I know.
anything untoward,
Yeah. Absolutely. I know exactly
it
what
would
you're
be
saying.
uncovered.
But then I think the hardest part of it would be like, who would you trust to do it? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, this is it. Survivors.
You'd have to
Do
be
you know what I
winning.
mean?
You'd have to be winning.
Yeah. Well, people that would do the job properly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There may be something out there. I've never heard of nothing out there. So, because obviously child abuse in care homes, it goes back since care homes opened, I should imagine. So
Yeah.
it's something that needs to be looked at now. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, they're in the care home to be basically looked after.
Well, the clue's in the name, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be cared for.
And
So,
do you know what I mean? But like half the time, they're at more risk in that care home than they are if they were left in their house. Like.
yeah. So, okay.
Do you think the local councils are accountable for the children which are abused?
Absolutely, especially when it comes to like abuse in care homes. No, it's like we've already said. It's like, even though they've like shipped the blame off to private sectors, that they're still big enough to turn around and say face to face that child belongs to us. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they're accountable 100%. Just as much as the worker that's done it, or the care home itself. Do you know what I mean? It's that circle. Then, do you know what I mean? Like, so whoever's in that circle, it's got to be dealt with, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, if you, as a parent, if you don't send your child to school, you're responsible. I know you get fined. You can even go to prison for not sending your child to school. So if you're a council, you've got a care home under your jurisdiction, shall we say, or whatever. If you're responsible for care homes, whatever happens in those care homes, it's got to be your responsibility. It's got to be.
Of course it does.
Of course, it's duty of care, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. So otherwise, it shouldn't be. Council shouldn't be in control of it at all, should they? Really. So,
another question here. How do you think the system can change to support survivors?
To support survivors. Well, says it in the question, I think, doesn't it? Like, instead of having some numpty that's gone to uni for 4 years, 7 years, whatever, and learning a load of bullshit, you take survivors on, give them the job. At least when a survivor goes there, then for counselling, psychiatrist, whatever, you're actually speaking to a survivor, so that they understand you and do you mean? It's like, no, someone that hasn't gone through it can't sit there and tell you how you should be feeling. Do you mean that's like putting a chef to do mechanics? It ain't gonna happen, is it?
yeah. Well, that's an absolutely fantastic way of looking at it, Paul, because you know, you've got to be a mechanic to be able to fix a car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's right, isn't it? So presumably, you know, you need people who have been through the and sexual abuse to be able to, you know.
It. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, like, as a survivor, if you know the person you're speaking to is a survivor as well, you create that bond straight away, like. So, like, you find it easier to speak because you know that they've gone through it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your outlook, Paul, on the sentences that are given to these abusers? As of lately, it doesn't seem that they're getting the sentences they deserve, really. They slap on the wrist, not the go.
Like me personally, being a Cardiff lad, we got a lovely fucking castle in the fucking city. Do you know what I mean? To just fuck it, go back to the olden days, have them fucking hung in front of every fucker.
Paul, does it frustrate you, obviously, working with Team Alpha, knowing that some of the people that you sort of sting, well, you know, the Team Alpha stings, and basically they're taken off the street. Does it frustrate you that you know within days they're going to be back online, back doing the same?
Yeah, how about that?
As if they know that there's no deterrent there, is there?
No, and that's the annoying thing, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, well, okay, we've got it stung them from them talking to a decoy, but there's nothing telling us at that moment in time that they're speaking to a real child, and this is the biggest thing that everyone fucking misses. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, yes, they'll be like takes their phones, their laptops, and all that for evidence. Do they thoroughly go through them thoroughly? I hope they fucking do, but there's no guarantee that. Do you know what I mean? We don't see them doing it. They don't show you any evidence that they've done it.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how they can get back online so quickly as well.
Yeah,
it does.
Devices
absolutely.
Because they're supposed to be monitored, aren't they? They're supposed to have these officers that go, like probation officers, they're supposed to check them.
Like there's a geezer in Cardiff, in Canton. Like he's been done. He's out now, but like he set up his own like rubbish firm. He's on the internet selling stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, hang the fuck on. You've been fucking done. So you should be on the fucking register. If you're on that register, you shouldn't be running your own firm, especially a fucking rubbish firm, because obviously you're having contact with children. You shouldn't be selling stuff on Facebook, for the simple fact of you shouldn't be on social media, because obviously social media is a fucking hook line for kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's a gateway to children, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that, do you know what I mean? And so like, so you can see the flaws in the system just with that one person. So it's like, where is all the rest of the flaws? Because there ain't just going to be one flaw. There's going to be loads of flaws.
Well, obviously that's something that ACCA and sort of like Team Alpha need to be sort of looking at how to highlight and go forward, and maybe that's the type of change that we should be trying to force. Because you know, I don't want to be dealing with people who are victims all the time. Although there's always going to be victims. You know, I'd like to see ACCA moving forward, trying to prevent as well, trying to make change in some way, shape, or form. Obviously with stiffer sentences, because if enough people get on board and enough people cry loud enough, there will be change. They will have to change it.
Absolutely, I mean, and that's what to prevent or stop whatever we're able to do. It comes down to the amount of bodies we have. Yeah, because like the only way you can do it is by changing the law, whether it's life in fucking prison, death, or whatever. the government ain't going to change them on their own. They need persuasion. And to get that persuasion, it's going to take millions and millions of us, not fucking hundreds or thousands of us.
Yeah, I understand that. But to be fair, I'm quite confident that there's many millions of very good people that feel the same way we do. It's just been having the ability to bring everyone together, or as near as damn it together, to try and make that change.
Yeah.
I think that's what we've got to be looking for moving forward. You know, so
Absolutely.
it's a big task. It's a huge task, but if we're all single-minded, it'll do nothing other than happen, and that's the way I believe.
Yeah.
You've got to be single-minded about what the outcome's going to be here. That's why I like to move forward. Really.
Yeah.
So,
No, absolutely.
Is there any more questions? I don't know whether I've got any more. I haven't got any more questions. You know, I'm all questioned up now. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I'd ask to.
No.
Yeah, somebody's asked, did it affect you showing affection to your children, as in having fiddles and sitting them on your knee?
Yeah. Absolutely. I've never been able to show affection. Do you know what I mean? To anyone, basically. And that the hardest part was not being able to show my own kids affection. Like my affection growing up has always been with my fists. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if I win. I don't care if I fucking lose. But like doing affection through the heart, it is a no go. Like, you know.
Scary. I don't think.
As a parent, you feel that you can't raise your children.
It's only when you hear something, what you sort of just start to grasp the enormity and the impact that abuse has. It's absolutely shocking that it goes that deep into someone's life, and it affects. But it destroys
definitely.
Yeah, it destroys relationships, future down the line with them.
Do you know what I mean? Like
your relationship.
It's like the relationship with my mother and my brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like
you were 7.
Yeah. Like I haven't got a relationship.
When you were 7 years of age, yeah. When you were like 7 years of age, your relationship with your children was already destroyed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that, I don't think through the sentencing, through the, you know, I know we all look at paedophiles and people like that with disdain and you know, with the contempt that they through the system itself. You know, you could probably you get more time in prison for speaking out against it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, it's unbelievable. You've got people like Steve McNeil and stood up, you know, and voiced, you know, she was said.
Yeah. I think you're breaking up. You are, Kyle.
Cracking up, I don't know. No, but it's quite shocking, to be fair. You know,
yeah. No, it is. Like, this. It ruins you, do you mean? From day one, like you said. But it's like obviously with myself, like from the day that I told my mother, like me and my mum's never been the same. Do you mean? Like I've threatened my mum. I've done things to my mum. Like I've never hit her, but I threatened it. Like, you know, and like at the time I didn't mean it. I was looking for a reaction. But as her being a mother, she took it to heart, and like it's ruined us. Do you know what I mean? But then it hasn't just ruined me and her. It's ruined my relationship with my brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like, I haven't spoke to my brothers for what 12, 13 fucking years because of it. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah, and it all stems back.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You know, she may even feel as a mum that, you know, she's obviously felt she's let you down, because a mum, as a parent, is to protect the man, dads, to protect their children, and maybe she don't know how to approach
yeah.
and to accept what has happened to you.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
You can't
Like
get it in your mum's head as she can't
yeah,
get it in yours.
like obviously the older I get, like I see that side of it more than I did when I was a kid, like, you know, like for
Yeah.
like in my late teens and early 20s, like the hatred I had for my mother was unreal. Do you know what I mean? But then that was because I had a lot of questions for her, and she didn't have the balls to like answer them. She didn't even want to listen to them, like, you know, never mind answer them. But obviously the older I get, like I can understand to a certain extent. I still got the questions, don't get me wrong, but I'm not the same person as I was back then either, like, you know.
And I think, you know, when you became a father yourself, then you know, obviously you're more protective of your children. And it's hard to know what I'm trying to say now.
I can't even help you out with that one.
Yeah.
I was trying to help you out this morning.
There's no helping me, Kyle, let me tell you.
I think we had a mass blank going on there, didn't we? Everyone just sort of blanked off at the same time. I think it's quite intricate, isn't it? Do you think, Paul, the older you get, the more you can understand, like, the failings? Because obviously your mum did fail. Presumably, because you said earlier that you presumed, and at the time you was convinced that she actually knew that there was something going on.
Yeah.
Do you think that still stands now, looking back with you? And if that's the case, you know, is there any type of empathy that you feel towards your mum, that it was more of a failing and not knowing what to do, as opposed to, you know?
Yeah.
Do you look back with anger now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like when we're not speaking, like it kills me, you know. But if she phoned me right at this moment in time, that then I go back to my childhood. Do you know what I mean? And all that hate comes rushing through me again. And even though, like, I try and stop it, because I know it in so many ways, I know it's fucking wrong. I can't stop it. Do you know what I mean? It's hard. That is the hardest bit to control. Is, and I don't know if it's like partly my love for her or my hatred for her. Like, you know, it's hard to explain it. Like,
yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
Hate is a very strong word.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is because you can't get to him, Paul? Do you think maybe if you approached him,
no.
what you feel you had to do, that you would change with your mum?
No, I think it's because there's so many questions for my mother, and I can't get the answers. I think that's where it all stems from, like, you know.
And then until you get them, you're not gonna settle.
Yeah.
Do you think then, Paul, that perhaps maybe, as opposed to being like being angered or hate or whatever you want to call it, do you think that perhaps you should maybe, because I've found this, it sort of helped me through the past. Do you think that you should really pity her because of her, she can't help her failings and who she is? And there's a certain amount of pity. I wouldn't say that towards a perpetrator.
Yeah.
For 1 second, do you understand? Because I don't think that, you know, that they don't come into this. I mean, for the people who are surrounding you, that way, obviously with your mother and that, do you feel as if you were to more pity her because she can't help how she's failed, and that's just who she was and who she is, and it is a failure that she is.
Yeah,
Well,
I get what you're saying. I don't know. Yeah, like in so many ways, like my mother is. How can you put it? Like she takes everything to heart. Then, do you know what I mean? And like as soon as she takes it to heart, like she clams up.
yeah.
So so on that side of it, she is a difficult fucking woman, like, you know. But like I said, it's I just got so many questions from like the likes of did you know? Did you have an inkling? Why did we have to go to Cardiff when I was 2? Why couldn't you leave me with my nan and pop, like, you know? There's just so many questions that like I said, just basically needs answering, and I'll die not knowing them fucking answers, like, you know.
Do you think, though, Paul, that like, for your peace of mind and your sanity, that maybe you might need to deal with that side of it for that, in as much as for yourself also?
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to get the answers, which it doesn't look like you are, does it affect you that much that you need to address it personally or talk about that side of it to somebody? Do you understand what I'm trying to say there? If you know that you're not going to get the answers, how do you deal with the effects of that? You know,
It's like it. I don't know. Like I tried for years. Do you know what I mean? And I still can't control it. Like it's I don't know. It's mental. When it comes to my mother, like that's the only time I can't control myself. You know. So it's like Phil's just put it. She triggers me, and maybe she is one of my triggers. I don't know. I honestly can't answer that one. Like all I can say is like how she makes me feel when I see her, like, or I speak to her. You know.
Yeah, I get that. It's sad, but it's true. And again, it goes back to the abuser that's caused all this. You know, and he walked away from it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just shocking. It's just not right. It's just,
no, absolutely. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't matter how you look at it.
But it was like when I was living down West Wales, like even though like she wasn't living with him, like he'd be around, like, because obviously they got the four lads together, so he'd be around the house quite often. So then, like, she'd be on the phone to my nan would say, oh, he's at the house, but like with my nan, it was just a conversation, but I don't think my nan realised what it done to me inside as well, like, you know.
Yeah.
So like, because it basically fucking it was like someone put a knife in me. Which obviously I think if I told my nan that, then I don't think she'd ever would have ever done it before. But like with my nan, like I've always looked up to my nan as my mother, so it was like I had more respect for my nan than anyone, like, you know.
She was your protector.
Yeah.
So like I could.
A question. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Somebody's asked, would you ever think of writing to your mum?
Right into it.
Yeah. Depends a bit of how you feel.
Yeah, well, over the years, I'm even though I've wrote some nasty stuff to my mum, I'm sure I've wrote some nice things as well, like, you know. Well, you know, I thought we lost connection then. Yeah, so like I said, I'm sure that I have wrote some nice stuff to her as well, and like I don't get no response from it, like which is the biggest hurt for me. Like,
when you get no feedback from something like that, even negative feedback,
yeah,
you get no feedback whatsoever.
no, it's like when she got married. I was about, God, what was I, 16? Yeah, I was about 16 when she got married. So like we done the church bit. We was all sitting around the table then having some food, and like the bloke that she married then like stood up, and like he was doing his speech, like thanking her for being here and thanking her like for giving him four children. So like obviously when we went to sit down, I've had all her friends sit me in the middle of them, hoping that I wasn't going to kick off on the day. So when he turned around and said 4 fucking kids when she's got 5, like I just looked at my pop looked at me and was like, no, and I went, fuck you. So I just went on a fucking rampage, do you know what I mean? So then, like, obviously, we didn't speak for about 3 years after that, like, you know.
I don't know to that. I can just imagine it. I don't know to that. Brilliant. To be fair, I've got to tip you out,
no, but, do you know what I mean? But it's just little things she's done over the time that sparks me. Like my brother got married. What was it, two years ago, babe?
Yeah, 2 years.
Like Ashley got married 2 years ago, down like abroad somewhere, which
Bali,
but in Bali. And like fair play to him, do you know what I mean? Like, but obviously he invited his old man. My mother went over. All my brothers were there. So like him and his old man had a dance one night, and like as I hit the video, I could see his old man in it, so I come off it, and then a couple of days later, then like I could see my mum's reacted to it. So me being me, went and had a look, and instead of a like, it was a hat. Now to me, like hat means everything, you know. So I kicked off over that, which she couldn't understand why I kicked off. But I tried to explain to her, if you liked it, I would have been pissed, but I could understand it. You liked it because that it's father and a son thing at a wedding. But you put a hat on it, there's more meaning to it then, like, you know. But it's just like I say, it's just over the years, it's just stupid, really stupid shit like that. Like when I was down in West Wales, like that they all moved to Shetland. So like at the time, I thought, do you know what? I got pushed back to West Wales, and I thought that was far enough. Now you've all fucked off to Shetland. You can't. The next furthest way is fucking Australia to get away from me, like, you know.
Yeah. Do you feel as if they've just been running away from the problem?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they don't want to face it. Like she tells me, like my brothers have been told. I truly don't believe my brothers have been told, but that's just me. Like, you know, that they might have been told, and she might be telling the truth, but.
Has she ever asked you not to say anything in front of your brothers?
Oh yeah, I'm not, and this is where the mental side of it comes. Like before we left him, like he would batter me like with a belt, the old type slipper, you know, like the rubber slipper. Do you remember them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like he'd batter me with them.
Yeah.
He'd batter me belts. The works. So that was the physical side of it. The mental side of it, like if I spoke about anything, he would tell me shut the fuck up, don't speak, you know. So, and that's why, like, even today I find it hard to speak, because I've gone through so long in my life being told shut the fuck up, basically. And then obviously when when it came out, obviously, like, I've tried speaking to my mum, like, loads of times, like, face to face. She would tell me to shut up. So I've tried doing it on the other angle then of, like, doing it on the spur of the moment when she's got, like, someone next to her, thinking maybe I won't get told to shut up now because they're sitting there and I get told to shut up. Do you know what I mean? So, like I said, like, all my life I've just been told to shut up, basically. And
somebody's just asked, what age did you come out?
what age I was when I said.
How old were you when?
I got kicked out of school when I was 15. So yeah, it was about 15 when I come out.
Got any questions there, Kyle?
To be fair, I'm just sort of trying to take in everything. To be fair, no, I haven't got much more to say. To be fair, she's obviously told people, but it's something that is, you know, I think personally you're doing with it fantastically.
Oh,
and the stuff that you're doing now is, I think that's your medication, personally.
It keeps me going.
I'm going to read it to you when we come off there, if that's okay.
I've
been sent a message here. I'd rather tell you come off there, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that might be the cue.
It was waiting for you to say something, Kyle. It's just when I want, I want to tell him when we're
yeah, I've got to be honest. From where I'm sort of south at the moment, like it's quite it's all consuming, isn't it? You know, sort of like living your your experience with you. Now it's just overpowering, really. It really is. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And to know you as I do, Paul. You would not think that what you've just said it is even there. Do you know the way you conduct yourself? And I'm not trying to blow smoke anywhere.
Yeah, no.
Do you know the way you're dealing with it and what you're doing? It's a massive test. To you, mate. To be fair,
yeah,
I've got nothing but admiration. Honestly.
Cheers, well, top man. Yeah, no, but it's at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning, do you know what I mean? I know what it feels like to grow up with this bullshit, like, you know, and like the last thing I want is someone else to go through this. Like, even though I know that there's loads of us, like, I want to prevent it majorly, like.
Something will be done. Or can be done. This is totally out of control now, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't. To be fair, I think it's always been out of control. But I think what it is,
just been swept into the carpet. It's not.
But so many people are aware of it now,
and they're not afraid to speak out. They did years ago.
We're living in a different age now, where people have, I think they feel comfortable enough to step up and actually say and do something about it now. That's what we need as many people as possible to come on board.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a survivor. Pause.
No.
You know?
And I think they back years ago. I mean, when I was abused, I always thought I would never. I don't know what people never believed. But I think now that it's more open and people are speaking out about it, they are being believed. It's just absolutely right. It's shocking.
Yeah, certainly is. But maybe this is the start of the change.
Yeah.
You know,
all we can do is hope, innit?
Well, you know, if enough people get behind it, then you won't have to hope, because it will just happen. And that's how we got to think. That's what I think, that it is going to happen. we are going to make change without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
And that's my mindset. I'm single-minded, and I won't let nothing, sway me from that.
No,
We'll get change.
absolutely,
We'll
bro.
get change.
We ain't gonna stop. We keep on grinding through
No
it.
chance. No chance. We can't, can we?
No.
There's children now. There's young children now that need us.
Exactly, mate. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're going to make mistakes on the way, but we just learn by them and just keep on going.
Well, of course. Yeah. But I think as long as we're true of heart, that's all that matters. That's all we've got to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think also it's been a very, very big taboo subject, hasn't it? It's a sort of like, it's something that people have been more embarrassed or people haven't been able to talk about it the way we talk about it now. So I think those things have changed as well, which is good in the prevention.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's more, as well as embarrassment, I think people feel they're the wrong ones.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you mean?
The dirty ones, and it's not their fault.
And that's how it makes you feel. Do you know what I mean? Is like you're the sick fucker, and it's just not the case.
What did you do wrong? This has happened to you. Why? You've obviously done something wrong for them to do this to you, but it's not. Till you're older, things with your mum you realise, and it's not till you're older that you know.
Yeah.
What's happened and what's gone on. 6, 7, 8-year-olds, until they're 16 are babies.
Yeah.
They've had their lives taken away from them. It's horrible.
Definitely. Do you know what I mean? It kills you, you're not human anymore. You're basically just running off fucking fumes,
Yeah.
I think
literally tears your heart to pieces. It's like a death. I think it's worse than a death, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like being the living dead, isn't it? I suppose.
But the scars it's left me with, and when I tried to commit suicide, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I had 2 little babies, their own babies, when I tried to do it, and they would have been left without a mum. Get you so lost.
I suppose that's the power of it, isn't it? That's the impact that it has.
Yeah. No.
I think the level, to be fair, if you look at it, the level of hypocrisy within the system, and I know I keep going back to the system, but that's where it all stems from. The level of hypocrisy there, where you can have your children taken away from you for the slightest thing. There are people out there that are having their children taken away from them because they were victims of abuse, and because the children apparently could be subject to any future abuse that isn't even apparent now.
Yeah.
The system are quick to take your children away from you then, and then take them into a life where they've got more chance of being abused, where they're taking them to, where they're taking them from.
Yeah.
It's just it's mind-boggling how it works. So I think by talking about it the way we are and getting it out there, then that's going some way to maybe getting people to try and prevent it and stop it. Because I don't care. In every institution, I do believe that the good people are there.
Oh,
they are there.
They're there. They just it comes down to what's the word we said earlier? Brainwash. Do you know what I mean? It's the government's got everyone where they want them. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a good place when you've got to be focused and you've got to fucking fight against them people,
Yeah, and basically, you have your life destroyed just for speaking out against people who are destroying lives.
Yeah.
It's just it's unbelievable, isn't it? Really, to be fair.
But yeah, I think everyone's had a guts for listening to us now.
Okay.
Cool. We could go on Put the will to rights.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have the viewing figures gone down to none?
No. There's still 13 people, but
Yeah. Okay, cool. No worries. So,
You got anything else you want to say, Paul?
no, I think that's it. I don't want to bore people too much.
it's far from that,
Had
brother.
some good questions thrown at you tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, no, fair play. They're the sort of questions that need to be answered, you know, and it's yeah. So
Well,
no, fair play to everyone.
Yeah. My last thing would be saying to you, obviously, Paul, that I just hope this evening's been helpful to you. You know, for you as well, and for you to be able to do what you've done tonight. You come away from this evening with a massive positive.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. Like don't get me wrong. Since Monday, I've been really shitting myself about it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, over the years, obviously, I've told people like I've been abused. I've never gone into details. But I've always told myself if I ever do something like this, I'd go into details. You know, because like painting a picture is okay, but I think especially for other survivors, you've got to go into some sort of details for them to like correspond with what you're speaking about, you know.
Yeah, to relate to what you're actually saying.
Yeah.
And I think you just answered the last question there. Somebody have asked, how do you feel now you've spoken?
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like speaking about it brings it right at the front of the mind. But I'm sure with sleep, get back to reality in the morning to work. It will help, like, you know.
Yeah.
You're like a big weight, isn't it? That big dark cloud is gone. And that's another step forward in your future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go in for counselling.
Yeah.
Let's start with myself.
Yeah. I think I'm going to book in tomorrow as well.
Speaking of, isn't it?
Well, you've got it. But to be fair, go just saying just something briefly about the abuse. The way I dealt with my abuse, because mine was physical. I've got scars from head to toe from my abuse. The abuse that I went through changed my life forever. In a lot of ways. Obviously, maybe I'll talk about that one day. But the way I've always dealt with it is I try and humorise it. I try and look at it in a humorous type of way because it's a physical abuse for me. Do you understand? I try to humorise it in that, and that's how I deal with it. Obviously, you can't humorise what you guys been through.
When they're hitting scars, aren't they?
Yeah, you can't humour your way through that one. So I'm lucky. I do consider myself lucky, even though it was terrible what I went through. I do consider myself lucky that I can deal with it that way. Do you understand? And it's sort of like that's my medication to basically make fun of it. You know. Yeah. So
no,
that's
absolutely.
what I do with it.
It's a good way to do it, like.
Well, yeah, I've just sort of stumbled over it, to be fair, Paul.
Yeah.
And it's just how I deal with it. Look,
that's it.
But
that's it. Like, you know, it's like you've got to find what works for yourself, innit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. My behaviour, the total direct result of my abuse, you know, and I know that. So, and like, obviously that's across the board with every type of abuse. But, you know, how you deal with things, how you react to people and stuff like that, and how you react to situations, you know. So, but that does help me for the here and now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely. And I think things you do, like, you know, is absolutely amazing, bro.
Well, I just try and take the piss out of everything, if I'm honest. Do you know what I mean? In a nice way. I try and keep it respectful, but God, I'm taking the piss.
You do some amazing stuff, mate. Honest to God.
Well, to be fair, I only go off people like you know, off your lead. You know, it's a team thing, isn't it? It's a team thing. Everybody, I think everyone's doing an amazing job. All the members, everyone, you know, the people who are coming into the comment section on both Alpha and Aka, you know, the people who have approached and wanting to open up and speak, even privately, about what you know, about things I've never probably spoke about before. I think that's an amazing thing to be able to achieve. You know, because you know you're just sharing the help, aren't you? Really?
Yeah.
Because together we are stronger. That's the truth. So, I think that's about all I've got to say on that.
Yeah.
As Forrest would say.
You sure now?
Close it up then, Kaz.
Okay then. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for telling us your truth. Stay safe. Much love. Team Alpha.